Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. First and foremost, want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule with a great stone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akims and the folk on the earth, pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. And this evening, we want to do a lesson on Galatians 3 and 29, but I'm going to start from verse 28. Right? Because this is a stumbling block to the unlearned, right? When you see the Greeks, the thinking is these heathens, right? But this Greek was referring to the Israelites who adopt the Greek custom, which we go back to the word Hellenized, right? They were the Greek who adopt the Greek language and the custom, who work in the fashion as the Greek. You see, you gotta know the history, what happened to the Israelites in around 70 AD, when the Antiochus, the Epiphany, who are Edomite, who Hellenized, who started the Hellenization of the Jews, right? Tell them to forsake their law and follow the way of the nation wrong about them, right? He said Galatians 3:20, there is neither Jew nor Greek, because it's the same people, they are Israelites, right? There is neither bond nor free. He said, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Yahushua Mashiach, right? And there's only one people that join ears with Yahushua and Mashiach is the Israelites, right? Verse 29. And if he be a Mashiach, then, right? Because the word of Mashiach mean anointed. And if he be a Mashiach, then are he Abraham's seed, right? And heirs according to the promise. But Abraham had more than one seed, and it says seed, which is singular, right? And we go to see who the promise and heirs went to, right? We get it in Hebrew, right? We can see who the promise and the heirs went to, right? This is Hebrews. We start at verse 8, Hebrews 11 and 8. It said, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into the place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obey, right? And by Abraham obeying Yahweh Bashin Yahushua, was counted him for righteousness. He said, and he went out not knowing whether he went, right? Scripture also said, obey is better than sacrifice. Verse 9, he said, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, which is the land of Canaan, which said the name of the land is Israel, which is you so-called Negroes, Latin and Native American homeland, right? He said, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacle with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise, So the promise went to Isaac and then it went to Jacob, right? So the promise and the heirs went to the Israelites, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian, right? Abraham had more than one seed, but the promise went to Isaac, and then Isaac had two seed, which is Jacob and Esau, but the blessings and the promise went to Jacob. Galatians 3:16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promise made, because Abraham had more than one seed, right? He said not, no, right? To seeds, not to the so-called white man with the Edomites, because he came out of Isaac, the so-called white man came out of Isaac, not to the Ishmaelites and the Midianites, because the Ishmaelites and the Midianites came out of Abraham. So he said not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, right? Unto thy seed, which is a Mashiach. So he picked one seed, the promise went to one seed, right? The promise went to one seed, which is Isaac. And then from Isaac it went down to Jacob, right? All right. Let me get this correct. This is Genesis chapter 17, verse 18. And Abraham said unto the Most High, O that Ishmael might live before thee. And the Most High said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant. This is plain, an everlasting covenant, right? An everlasting covenant with Isaac and with his seed after him. And who was Isaac's seed? Isaac had two seed, right? Which is seed with an S, right? And he said, and with his seed after him. And the blessings went to Jacob, not to the Edomites. It went to Jacob, right? He said, as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 prince shall he begot, and I will make him a great nation. This is the Arab nation, right? Because the Arabs come out to Abraham, right? Verse 21, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac, right? Our forefather. But my covenant, which is an everlasting covenant, will I establish with Isaac. I know if we could receive through the Spirit Isaac, this Isaac is Yahweh because the same Spirit was in Isaac, was in the same Spirit in Yahweh, right? He said, but I will, he said, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year, right? So it was, the covenant was made up, it was made with what? With Isaac, right? That's why we read Galatians. That's why we read Galatians 3:16, right? Go back to Galatians 3:16. This Galatians chapter 3, verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promise made. He said not to seeds, right? To the Ishmaelites, to the Midianites, and to the Edomites. He said no to them, right? As of many, but as of one, which is Isaac, and to thy seed, which is a Mashiach, right? Which is a Mashiach. You understand? The Most High choose one people, right? We go to the book of Ezra, second Ezra chapter 5, verse 27. He said, and among all the multitude of the people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And among all the multitude of the people, meaning the different nation, there's 18 nations under the heaven. The Most High choose one people, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian. And unto this people thou lovest, and unto this people thou lovest, thou givest a law that approve of all. Right? So the Most High love the Israelites. Right? The Most High love the Israelites. The promise went to the Israelites. Right? They cannot get around that. It went to the Israelites. Right? This is Romans. What the scripture saying? Matter of fact, let me get this. This is Romans 11:1. Right? All right, this is Romans 11:1. I say then, had the Most High cast away his people? The Most High forbid, no. For I also am an Israelite. So who Paul was speaking to in Rome? He was speaking to the Israelites. So he was saying, yo, the Most High cast away his people, right? He said, for I also am an Israelite of the seed, which is singular, of Abraham, right? Who was the seed of Abraham? Isaac, Jacob, Esau, Ishmael, and the 5 sons of Keturah, which is the Midianites, right? But the promise went to Isaac and Jacob, right? So he said, for I also am an Israelite from the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. Who was Benjamin's father? Jacob was Benjamin's father. He said, the power had not cast away his people, which he foreknew. So the Most High didn't cast away his people, right? So they were speaking to the Israelites, right? Apostle Paul went to the Israelites, right, in Greece, in Corinthians, right, in Rome, right? He went to the Israelites who were scattered there, right? They were Hellenized, right? They adapt the Grecian fashion, Grecian tongue, the Grecian custom. They were Hellenized, right? They wasn't walking in the last statute and comment to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They were totally going off, right? This is Romans 9 and 3. For I could wish that myself were a curse for a Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So we go to this word kinsmen, right? And see who Paul was talking to. Because the other words stay clear, you know. But we go into this word kinsmen, right? Right? It say kins, let me get to say kinsmen.
Strong's G 4773. Sungenes. Sungenes.
Sungenes, he said kinsmen. He said of the same kin, related by bloodline, right? Same seed, offspring, in a wide sense of the same nation, a fellow countryman, right? So he was speaking to the Israelite, but before his foregon tell it clearly who was these people, right? It was the Israelites, right? It was the Israelites, right? So back in Romans 9 and 3, he said, for I could wish that myself were a curse from a Mashiach for my brethren, the Israelite, my kinsman, the Israelite according to the flesh, who are Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latin, and Native American Indian, to whom pertain the adoption. Who pertain the adoption? The Israelites, right? The Israelite pertain the adoption, right? So we go into it, right? The Israelite is who pertain the adoption, right?
Strong's G 5206. We are Thesia. We are Thesia.
We are Thesia is the word for adoption, which is the Greek word. It's the adoption as son, which is supposed to be banyam, which is son, which is plural. He said that relationship which the Most High was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations, right? So the Most High was pleased, right, to establish, right, the relationship between he and the Israelites. You can't get around that, right? You cannot get around that, right? Cannot get around that. You get this word quick, right? It's
preference.
A preference, right? It's a greater likening for one alternative over another or others. Who the most? Hey, this hey, right? So it's a greater likening for one alternative over another or others, right? What the most I say? What the most I say? The most I said Esau. He said he hate Esau and he loved Jacob, right? So the adoption was pertaining to the Israelites, right? There was the Israelites. And let me skip this and jump into verse 13, right? Romans 9 and right? So the adoption was the Israelites, right? So in preference, the Most High prefer the Israelites over any other nation, right? The Most High choose them above all nation, right? It's a lightning. Right? This is Romans 9 and 13. Just skip down Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, where it's written in the Old Testament, in Malachi, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Esau, you are the Edomites. See the Esau are the Edomites. Jacob, you are the so-called Negroes, Latin, Native American Indian. Right? So the Most High prefer the Israelites over all these other nations. Right? So we're going back to Romans 9 and 4. It says, who are the Israelites to whom pertain the adoption and the glory, which is the kingdom. The kingdom is to the Israelites, right? Revelation, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. You know, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, which is the kingdom of heaven. So the glory is the kingdom of heaven. It belongs to the Israelites. And the covenants, right? The covenants, the old covenants and the new covenants is to the Israelites, right? Going back to Exodus, which is Exodus 34, right? And 27, and Hebrews chapter 8, verse 6 to 10, right? Both covenants was made with the Israelites. And the giving of the law was made with the Israelites, right? Psalms 147 and 19, right? To Psalms, right? Psalms 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, which is you Israelites, his statute and his judgment unto Israel, which is you Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latin, Native American, and the Most High gave his understanding unto Jacob, right? He said he had not dealt so with any nation. So the Most High had not dealt so with any other nation. And as for his judgment, which is law, statute, and commandment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So these nations didn't know it. So when you read in Galatians 3:20, he said there is neither Jews nor Greek, because they are the same people, right? They are the same people, they are Israelites. Right? He was Greek this me other night. So it wasn't speaking to these Edomites, these so-called white people. It wasn't speaking about them. And the ears was given to with the Israelites. Right? The ears was joined with the Israelites, not no other nation. Right? The kingdom is to the Israelites. He said this is Romans 9 and 4. He said, who are Israelites to who pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promise, right? And the promise was given to the Israelites, right? In John verse 6, right? He said, not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel, tutorial people. They don't business but Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. They don't want to turn back to Yahweh Bashem. They want to turn back to the heritage, right? So it said they are not all Israel, which are of Israel, which is the two-thirds. Verse 7, neither because they are the seed of Abraham, right? Abraham's seed was the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs, the so-called Arabs today, the Midianites, right? And the Edomites, who are the so-called people today, right? This is a straight cut for Galatians 3 and 28. He said, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. The promise went to Isaac and it went to Jacob, right? Hebrews 11 and 9, verse 8. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, which is the Arabs, the Edomites, the so-called white people, and the Midianites, they are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of the Most High. So these heathen nation, they are not the children of the Most High. But the children of the promise are counted for the seed, right? Which is the Israelites, right? So Galatians 3 and 28 was speaking about the Israelites. And verse 29, who joined ears and who joined ears with Yahushai were the Israelites. And the promise went to the Israelites. Right? So you people cannot get around this. Right? This is to the Israelites, right? kingdom to come is to the Israelites. Right? And with that, with lessons edifying, I want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule with our greatness done, and a blessed sanitation to the Akims and the folk on the earth to push in the gospel and sincerity and truth. Shalom.